Our sisters are students. I am a member of the football team and the photography club. She doesn't know the names of the other people there. Italy and Austria are members of the European Union. Others are England, France, and Denmark. England and Wales are part of the United Kingdom. The others are Scotland and Northern Ireland. The other phones are on the table. What is the name of your other brother? This apple is red. The other apples are green. Do you know the names of any other planets? Do you know the names of other stars in the sky? Now check your answers. My other sisters are students. I am a member of the football team and the photography club. She doesn't know the names of the other people there. Italy and Austria are members of the European Union. Others are England, France, and Denmark. England and Wales are part of the United Kingdom. The others are Scotland and Northern Ireland. The other phones are on the table. What is the name of your other brother? This apple is red. The other apples are green. Do you know the names of any other planets? Do you know the names of other stars in the sky? Now read the story and answer the questions about it.
Read and answer.
People belong to many social groups. If you ask someone which groups they belong to, they will probably say that they are members of a family or members of sports groups, like a football club. We are all members of a country. We usually say that we are citizens. Other groups include religious groups, political groups, and sometimes hobby groups. When students go to university, they often become members of different social groups, like sports clubs or hobby clubs. They usually join these clubs because they are interested in different activities, like football or baseball, or hobbies like chess or photography. Other examples of social clubs are hiking clubs, political groups, study groups, and of course classes. The other important social groups that most people belong to include our friends and the people that we work with every day. Another example of a social group is a chat group that we use on the internet. Think about how many social groups that you belong to. You will probably be surprised when you count them all. There are probably more than one or two that you belong to. Now answer these questions. How many social groups do people usually say they belong to? Which ones will they probably say? Which words do we use to talk about people who are members of countries? Which other groups are people usually members of? What are the examples of student social groups? What examples of sports clubs do students usually join? What hobby clubs do students usually join? Which are the other important social groups that students usually belong to? What is an example of a social group on the internet? How many social groups do you probably belong to? Now check your answers. How many social groups do people usually say they belong to? People usually say they belong to one or two social groups. Which ones will they probably say? They belong to a family or a sports group. Which words do we use to talk about people who are members of countries? We say citizens. Which other groups are people usually members of? People are usually members of religious groups, political groups, and sometimes hobby groups. What are the examples of student social groups? Students belong to sports clubs or hobby clubs. What examples of sports clubs do students usually join? Football or baseball are examples. What hobby clubs do students usually join? Chess or photography are two examples. Which are the other important social groups that students usually belong to? They are hiking clubs, political groups, study groups, and classes. What is an example of a social group on the internet? A social group on the internet is a chat group. How many social groups do you probably belong to? Probably more than one or two social groups. Okay, good job today. See you next time. Bye.
Practicing English.
Angie, I think I have too much free time. I really have a lot of new friends here, but I want to try new things.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Well, I was thinking about joining a social club, like after work.
What other ideas do you have?
Another thing that I like is travel, and there are some travel clubs in the city.
Yes, there are lots. What else besides travel and drama?
Well, I really enjoy swimming. It's another sport that I'm good at, so I'm thinking about joining a swim team.
Wow, what other ideas do you have for yourself?
There's also the ski club and the art society. Both of those are interesting.
I have an idea for you.
Like what?
You could join me in the photography club.
Angie, I don't have a camera. How can I join a photography club?
Well, you could use mine.
Angie, what are you thinking?
Well, we talked about this before, and I know that you want to belong to a group or team. The other ideas are fine, but this idea is really different and exciting.
Angie, I like the ideas I have, but you're making me curious. What's on your mind?
Well, I want you to be a new member of our photography club and go on all the club trips to the countryside with us. And you could be in all our activities, like hiking and sleeping in a tent.
Angie, you want me to do all that? I don't think so.
Really? It would be great.
Angie, I'm glad you're thinking about me, but the ideas I have are possible. Your idea is impossible.
The others are all boring. My idea is more fun than swimming or reading plays. Belonging to a group is important, and you'd love doing this.
I couldn't climb hills and sleep on the ground.
Oh, I suppose swimming in a tiny bathing suit is more fun?
Well, you have a point there.
I do. And what is acting? You make people believe that you're another character. I'm asking you to show people what you see with your camera and have fun doing it.
Your ideas are starting to make sense.
Yes, like I said, the other ideas are boring. I'm giving you a chance to do something really different.
I'll say.
Will you at least think about it?
I will, but I'm not sure.
Well, Alexei, I didn't want to tell you this, but others have expressed interest in being a photographer. You'd have to try out.
Try out? What do you mean?
Well, a number of other people are interested.
You're kidding. There's a competition for this?
Yes. We will all meet on Friday afternoon, and those people who want to be members will have a chance to try out.
Look, Angie, I have to tell you, skiing down slopes and going to art museums sounds a whole lot more interesting than going to take photos in the countryside.
Are you saying that you want this opportunity to go to somebody else?
Well, I think that other people may want it more than me. I'm simply not that interested.
Well, I don't want to hear any crying from you if some other person gets to do it.
Believe me, Angie, if some other person ends up doing this, I'll be very happy.
Alexei, so this is your final word?
Angie, I would like to say that I would think about it, but I don't think that I could ever do it. Someone else will have to do it.
Okay, so some other person will take the opportunity. I'm sorry that you won't do it.
Sorry, Angie.